Hey everyone, you're listening and or watching to the From the Ground Up show, and we are particularly excited to be here today because if you're watching, you're actually probably looking at us like, what is with this new amazing wall studio that we're in? And we're in Studio B of a 3-studio set that we have now moved ourselves into. And that prompted this episode because we wanted to talk about the fact that we're getting really fancy now, eh, Jas?
Well, I think it's important to mention that we didn't start off getting this fancy, having a studio now. Like, look, Nikki, big respect and big shout out to Nikki, aka Biscuit, who's always behind the ones and twos for a FTGU show, head videographer for our team at FTGU. He mentioned, he's like, guys, like we're in Studio B, and it's actually like really true, meaning that we now have our own studio, not only for From the Ground Up show, but all the other content that we're producing for ourselves, but also for other agents and mortgage brokers and salespeople and entrepreneurs. But we didn't start there. We did not start there. This has been a 3.5-year journey, and I know you brought.
I brought a prop because I like props. Yeah. Cannot help myself. So this is we'll call it a representation of the actual mic that we used to record our very first podcast in 2018. It was called at that time the Real Estate Center Audio Experience, and it was a 30-minute 20 to 30 minutes where Jas just kind of went off to help educate our real estate clients on doing deals in real estate, particularly for investors. That's really how it all started, with just this little mic plugged into my laptop at the time.
And we had like an amazing editor at that time, like actually editing the podcast. Her name was Laura. And for anybody.
I was like, we did?
For anybody who does,
amazing editor?
Yeah. Like that's sarcasm at its best.
I was amazing because I did it.
Yeah, you did it because you Googled it, and you Googled how to and you YouTubed how to put up a podcast on YouTube and then on the audio platforms.
This is kind of making me laugh, and I know I'm going on a tangent here, but like I'm literally in the process of learning about NFTs and cryptocurrency. I'm trying to educate myself as much as I can. So I set a goal for 50 hours in the next couple weeks to learn about all what's going on in the crypto space. And Googling how to like create a MetaMask wallet is very reminiscent of these times, because I literally had to walk myself through step by step, like open Anchor, like go to anchor.com and plug in the audio and then listen to the audio for any peaks and valleys and try to like make it so they were less so. Like, I don't even know the words of it. I was just sitting around, like kind of fucking around on the computer, in all honesty. I did the best I could. And I think for anyone getting started, what they picture is this. We have a lot of clients come to us and say, I want the show and I want the lights, and I'm thinking we'll do it in 3 parts and it'll be me walking in, and they have this whole idea planned out. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. But A, what's your budget?
Yeah.
B, have you recorded anything on camera ever before? Like, are you even good at being on camera?
And most of the time, the answers are no to this. Like,
most
no
of the time,
budget,
the answers are no.
And they have no experience. But continue.
Yeah, I have no budget, I have no team, I have no experience, and I don't even know if I really like it, but I want a show. Everyone wants to be like the TV personality.
CNN, BNN,
and I love
all that.
because they come in with big, ambitious goals, and I think everyone should dream big. We talked about this today, about the idea of like dreaming big for yourself and manifesting it.
We dreamt this, that we were going to have a studio and stuff at some point.
But it's not where we started, because if you wait until you have the studio and the cameras and the lights and the people, you're never going to get started, because that's a massive budget that you need right off the bat. Plus, you don't know if you're going to be consistent, so you literally might be throwing money away.
And time. Think about how much time all that actually takes. Setting up where you're going to shoot it, what equipment you needed, getting the gas, and like guests are going to cancel on you, like all that stuff. You're talking about the budget that's needed. It's also the time that's required.
The amount of follow-ups that you need. You got to email potential guests if you're doing an interview style show, and then you got to follow up with them. Then suddenly they say, I'm sick today, and then they start ghosting you because they didn't really want to do your show in the first place. Like, all that shit has happened to us. And yes, it does hurt our feelings, but like, you got to keep moving. You got to go on with the momentum. And a lot of times people ask us, well, what would I even talk about? So they have this big idea for the show and the set, but they don't even have an idea about what the content actually is going to be. And quite frankly, that matters way more than the aesthetics. Look, I love aesthetics. Jas clearly Not so much.
Fresh pair of jeans, fresh kicks, fresh t-shirt.
So he's fresh
So
today.
like,
This
I
is
knew
his
we were gonna
idea
be
of
shooting.
fashion. So you wore your good stuff today.
Yeah, 100%.
But exactly, that kind of proves my point, right? Like, not everyone cares about the aesthetics. It more so matters what's coming out of your mouth. Is it providing value? Is it useful to your viewers? So you always have to come at that in mind. And people will be very forgiving at the start. We've talked about this so many times on this show that like people, when you first get started, they're like your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, maybe some of your colleagues, some of your best friends who are like really trying to like cheer you on, even though deep in the back of their head, they're probably like, this is kind of shit. But that's okay. As long as they're cheering you on and kind of pushing you forward, that's all that matters. It's not like you're going to post something on YouTube or put out a podcast episode and you're going to have 300,000 downloads. It does not happen like that. You're going to have 3 people who viewed it.
You might get a video that goes viral and you get kind of lucky and
has that happened to us yet? True viral video?
Yeah, we had a couple of them now. Like our tours. Our tours.
Oh, our tours. Yes,
yeah, right. Like those definitely have.
So our tours were of luxury apartments in New York City as well as in Toronto.
Yeah,
and that's really like porn for people, like real estate porn for people. And so that does get a lot of eyeballs, but like that's a lot of time. Those videos took us all day, plus our editing team like a week to 2 weeks to do on the back end. So it's just not going to allow you to get enough content out there consistently, particularly if you're trying to build up a personal brand.
And actually do business, which brings in money. Because building up a personal brand, it actually takes time. Like for it to start to hit, not even all the time that we just spoke about building it, but for it to actually resonate with people, it's gonna take you a while, and you gotta build a business. You gotta go sell things. You gotta go meet people, and if you're taking all day, hence why, yeah, look, those videos went viral and people like it, and you called it real estate porn, and it is that, but it took us. It probably took us a total of 4 or 5 days. My time and your time, a full day and a half easily, just setting it all up to your point.
And quite frankly, like, some of the comments on it, like we get ripped to shreds 100%. On that video. So it's not like people were necessarily like massive fans of it.
Yeah.
But, it got a lot of eyeballs. And yes,
it did get us a lot of business.
It got us no business, I'm sure. I haven't heard anyone say, I saw your tour video and now I want to give you business.
On the flip side, they say, hey, man, I saw that 12, 14-minute video, that 37-minute podcast that you did with a real client and that client documenting what they went through to invest into a property, buy a property, or start a business, or a real estate agent talking about their journey with content creation. Other people resonate with that a lot more than they do with some tours and stuff. And really quickly, Laura, like I know you're going to jump in and cut me off like you always do, but like
shut up, Jas. Hurry up.
What I wanted to get across is that the people that like are watching right now, and why we're telling you it's not that important to get fancy at the start, work your way up to that. We do sell a lot of real estate. We do a lot of business in our media company helping other agents. So we also have the revenues to spend this kind of money to do this 3.5 years later. Like, I really want to drive that point home. Like, we never, ever let the fact that we didn't have a proper set. We didn't even at times have like the best mics. We didn't at times have the best cameras. We didn't at times have the best people behind these cameras and the videos. One thing that we did, and guys, like the cool thing is with us is that it's been all recorded. So you can go back to FTGU's, like I know, like from the ground up's YouTube page doesn't go back that far. It probably goes back to Nikki, like 12 months, 13 months or whatever it's been. But like jump over to my YouTube channel and go to the 4 years that we're talking about, and you're gonna see that mic.
Well, I truly want people to go to the Jas Tackar channel, because I think then you'll start to realize like we haven't taken in a single dollar directly from that podcast. We don't have any people, it's not like people are reaching out to us being like, please sponsor, sponsorships, ads. There's no one that's specifically given us money for the actual podcast. So the podcast we really do for fun and as a marketing tool to help drive the business. And so we have to make sure that we're focused on actually doing the business. And so make it easier on yourself. Don't get so fancy. Take the time and then you'll get fancy.
Look, you can, you just on Instagram right now or something like that a couple of days ago, I can't remember, did a video on the fact that you actually have a media team, you have a Nikki, you have a Nazar, you have like a Clam and all these people, but and all the other guys and gals too, April and Chiquita and them, Remy, I feel bad if I left somebody out,
Nazar?
right? So I had to
You
go
say
through.
Nazar?
I did say Nazar. And obviously, AKA Stephen, AKA Rochester, and
And our new boy Benji, our new
100%,
intern.
100%. Well, you have all these people, but you still, majority of your content, and I can say majority of my content, go on TikTok, go check it out. It's done with our iPhones. Like,
Yeah,
that's
it's not done with
guys.
the cameras. It's not even done in good lighting. Half the time I think I look atrocious and I post it anyways, but I don't even put a filter on it. And the reason being is because I'm really trying to inspire you guys to see that it doesn't matter what you look like. You have to just put it out there anyways, because if you start getting all
does it
weird
with her
about
looks, like, come on.
blemishes and lighting and making your face look skinnier or whatever all those filters are, you're going to spend so much time doing that, first and foremost. Secondly, maybe, I'm not even sure it's going to help the views, but let's say it does. Is it going to actually result in business? And here's the thing, if it does result in business and someone actually picks up the phone and says, I saw your TikTok, and then they actually have to meet you in person. Yeah. Because the majority of our watchers and listeners here are real estate agents. So you're going to meet your clients in person at some point, and they're going to see that you don't look anything like all your touched up photos and videos that you've done. So you may as well just put it out there anyways. I got to tell you, particularly ladies, if you're listening, it's so liberating to put something up and it actually just be you and to be proud of it and to get the love from people anyways. It just goes to show, like, people are really, for the most part, trying to just support you. So just get over it already.
And you're talking about the video aspect, like we always hear it from agents that we're shooting content with, and they're saying, can I get a script and a teleprompter? And I get it. It maybe relieves some of the pressure, but here's the thing. You said, like, when they come and see you, when you start talking when they come see you, you're not scripted. And so if you're not as polished as you're trying to make it on your video, even about what's coming out of your mouth, you went down the video route, I'm going down the, like, what's actually coming out of your mouth, they're going to realize that you were always scripted, and then they're going to feel like they got duped. Like, that's not really you. On the flip side, I'm telling you guys right now, the business that we get from real estate agents for the media company, real estate clients for our real estate company, REC Canada, both myself, Simos, my business partner in the real estate company, Laura as our VP, just to make things confusing, in the real estate company, we're getting all that business because people are like, holy shit, like, you're the exact same. Somebody just told me that I'm actually better looking in person than I am on video.
Told you
yes,
that.
and Nikki
no one
was there,
told you that.
So he knows that.
It didn't happen.
But here's something else that I actually really want to quickly add, as the team gave us the 10-minute mark. But I just want to say this, and then you kind of take it where you want to take it, Lord. You're watching Laura right now, 2 years, let's call it 2 years consistent. Actually, probably about 18 months. Like, let's call it what it really is. 18 months of consistently putting out content. And I can tell you, like, we joke around a lot, we banter with each other a lot, but I can tell you, hands down, and ask the crew around us, go watch her first few videos. She was scared shitless, and now she doesn't shut up. And I'm not meaning that from a joke perspective. Like, now you go off and you're just like, bah, 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 bah. Like,
I can't wait for you to stop
see how
talking
much,
so that I can start
see how much
talking.
more she's talking, and she's like, oh, a lot more comfortable with the ums and ahs. I just saw her really quickly look off camera because she's getting her thoughts out there, because that's what she normally does in a meeting. And so now you're starting
I'm giving you a heart.
Yeah, like,
thank you.
Let's not get too cool there. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that was over 18 months of consistently doing it. The reason it says from the ground up here is because it's a reminder for you. We could have called this company friggin' Purple Cow if we wanted. We chose to call it from the ground up because it's a reminder for yourself, for us, that you have to build it with the right foundation. And that comes only from one thing: consistency of putting in the reps every single day, and having the faith, and you don't need to believe in God, but just having the faith like you do when you're driving on the highway and there's those white lines on the highway. We all have the faith that somebody on the left side is not going to cross over to the right side. Just having the faith that this is going to work out. It's actually going to work out if you do it with consistency every single day.
That was a perfect sum up for the show today. Guys, I have to ask you to please leave us in the comments what you think of the new studio if you're watching.
Even if you hate it.
Even if you hate it, we'd like to know. And otherwise, please share this with a friend, because that's going to help us help you guys. And it's going to help the algorithms and all that stuff that no one really fully understands. But we need some subscribes, we need some bell notifications, and we need some sharing with the friends. That would be super helpful. And until next time, See you guys later.